An Ageless Life, and I am out on my back deck. You can see the lovely greenery that I have behind me, my patchouli plant and all these other things, and thought I would take the opportunity to chat with you today from my deck. So I want to talk to you about hydration. And as I mentioned in the title, it is about what you can do to reduce wrinkles. And not probably something that we really think about very much, but actually hydration makes a big, big difference. So when our body is dehydrated, it shows up first and foremost in our face. There's more wrinkling that happens, more sagginess to our skin. Other things can happen, like it can actually increase our pain level. It can cause headaches. It can cause dizziness. One of the things that I find the most interesting is that actually we mistake being thirsty for being hungry, and we will eat, which is, again, not something we really want to do, because we won't even satisfy our thirst, and we're eating and perhaps and usually don't need or want the calories as far as that's concerned. So I've got some simple things that I want to share with you today. I also want to let you know that I'm going to be doing a special seminar or workshop for a couple of days, about an hour each, and that's next week, and we will go into a lot more detail associated with this. It is really warm outside. Many of us have plans for this weekend as far as being out in the sun or enjoying the weather. Maybe not in the sun directly, but we may be eating or drinking things that actually cause us to be dehydrated. So wanting to make sure that you know what those foods are and what those drinks are, and solutions that you can come up with. So want to give you just a little glimpse of what it is that I'm going to be talking about. So want to talk first of all about the importance of hydration and really how much water we should drink. And current literature supports that we drink at least 5 to 6 16 ounces of water per day. And that can be in the form of water itself. It can be in the form of like water that has some kind of flavoring associated with some kind of liquid. Things that generally are not considered in the hydrating portion would be things that have like sugary drinks, or things that have a lot of caffeine in them, like coffee or tea. Those have a tendency to dehydrate us. Foods that can be dehydrating as well as hydrating, and I'll cover more about those in a little bit. But want to get back to actually hydrating and what that means for your body and how we go about it. So as I mentioned before, 5 to 6 16-ounce glasses or containers, whatever you choose to drink out of, is what is established as the minimum. The larger you are, the more you need to drink. Also, if you're outside and are doing something that has a lot of physical activity, add about 16 ounces for every 30 minutes of activity. So again, the 5 to 6 16-ounce bottles of water, or whatever you choose, I choose a glass, I prefer a glass, is our baseline, and we build up from there. And understanding and knowing that that's our bare minimum makes it a lot easier to figure out where it is that we need to go from there. But in order to find out what we need to add, we first of all need to know how much we're drinking now. So an easy way to do it is to just have 5 or 6 bottles of water, or some kind of container that you have that you fill up in the morning, and then you get a new one every time you finish the first one, or the second or the third. So you keep getting different bottles or containers of water, and that way you don't have to do any tracking. You don't have to write anything down anywhere. You just know by the end of the day when you look how much you've had to drink. So that's kind of an easy way. If you're more have a different way you'd like to do it, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll make up a pitcher of flavored water, and I'll have that throughout the day, and I know when I finish that I have had my quota of water, and then I basically do an assessment. Do I feel like I need more? Do I feel like I need less? And decide where it is that I want to go from there. So again, that's establishing a baseline. We go up from there, and the things to be important to consider are physical activity. In other words, for every 30 minutes, I'm going to add another 16 ounces of water. Second is, am I doing a lot of speaking? Anything that I'm going to be, and anytime you do a lot of talking, your body loses moisture via talking, so you want to add more liquid in as far as that's concerned. If you're doing something in which you're perspiring a lot, you know, they say ladies glisten, right? Want to make sure that you add more liquid. And I try to check in with my body a couple of times during the day to make sure, especially if I'm in situations where I feel like I'm going to get dehydrated, I'll actually add more water before I even feel like I need it. So the other thing is, certain foods may cause you to feel like you need more water, or actually be dehydrating. Those would be salty foods, sugary foods, foods with a lot of chemicals or preservatives in them. So now we're looking at things that actually can cause us to be dehydrated. Again, coffee, tea, sugary drinks, salty food, sugary food. Those are the basics. So I wanted to give you just a little bit of a glimpse as to what it is that I'll be talking about. Again, this month for me is going to be talking about hydration and its importance, but the key takeaway from this is that if you don't drink enough water, it'll show up in your face, in your neck, in your skin. And you can pretty easily see it when you look in the mirror. So if you look in the mirror and say, oh my God, looks like I have more wrinkles, drink some water, grab your refreshment, and away you go. And in closing, be bold, be beautiful, be ageless. See you next time. Bye-bye.